Every child deserves a chance to learn, dream, and succeed. Yet in Japan, thousands of foster children are growing up in institutions where the odds are likely stacked against them. Their futures depend not on their ability, but on whether society chooses to invest in them. Japan is known for having a strong education system. However, when it comes to children and institutional care, the story changes. Many of these children face barriers that make it much harder for them to stay in school, or even keep up with their peers. In this video, we are going to talk about what the education looks like for children in Japan's foster care system, the struggles, the progress, and the hope.
So in the case study, there's many children who they focused on, and one of those was Yuki. Yuki was a 6-year-old girl who was placed in a child care institution when her mother couldn't care for her due to her mother's mental health. Um, she was placed she was placed very young, and she was surrounded by strangers with no one to tuck her in to bed or to comfort her when she was scared. The facility had over 50 children and only a few caregivers. Life there followed a strict schedule. You would wake up, go to school, do your chores, and then lights out. There wasn't much time for hugs or even someone to ask how your day went. Over time, Yuki learned to stay quiet and not to expect much attention. When Yuki turned 18, she had to leave the institution and live on her own independently. She moved into a small apartment through a job training program, but she struggled. She didn't know how to manage bills, how to find support, or even who to call when she felt lonely. After years of living in a structured environment, suddenly she was expected to be completely independent. No family, no emotional guidance, and no safety net. Unfortunately, Yuki's story isn't unique. Many children in Japan's foster care system live in large institutions instead of foster care or adoptive families. Many grow up without love, warmth, support that help children thrive. Yuki's story reminds us that a child doesn't need just a place to sleep. They need connection, belonging, and hope for their future.
So, looking at the background and context, we're going to discuss what Japan's foster care system's like. So, in Japan, children who can't safely live with their biological families are usually placed in either institutional care, which is like group homes, or within foster families. According to the SOS Children's Village, although the government has been working to place more children with families, around 40,000 children are separated from their family of origin and are in need of alternative care. However, more than 80% of these children are placed in institutions. These children are guaranteed a right to education, but reality is often different from what's on paper. In connection to our case study, a lack of support for children once they leave alternative care system leaves them prone to homelessness, low-paying work, and little opportunity for higher education. In Japan, foster children are more at risk of receiving reduced opportunities for education and often result in many high school dropouts. Compared to the general population, Japanese youth in residential institutions experience poor educational outcomes. These youth achieve poor academic performances and have higher school absenteeism and lower high school enrollment rates, according to Uzuma. Poverty continues to play a large role in society, impacting the lives of many individuals and taking away the resources that can positively benefit their future well-being. For Japan, the more documented issues are the heavy reliance on institutional care, lack of support in schooling, and weak transitions to higher education or employment. Poverty and heavy reliance on institutional care means that many children grow up in group facilities rather than stable family environments. Compared to the US, where the family foster care is more common, Japan still heavily relies on institutional care.
There are many different policies that are put in place to protect the education of children in Japanese foster care. The revision of the Child Welfare Act is the largest. In 2016, Japan revised the Child Welfare Act to increase the ratio of care. It was revised to address the institutionalized of the institutionalization of the foster care system and promote a family-based care principle. The government recognized that children thrive in a stable environment with nurturing caregivers. They also aim to promote that family-based care system, with the government aiming to place approximately one-third of children in the system with foster parents or in family homes by 2029. They also are reorganizing measures taken to ensure that foster parents are prioritized, which will enhance the professional care offerings and promote self-reliance and encourage family and community-driven support. The Nipton Foundation's Happy Yuri Kago project is in place to promote awareness of programs and institutions that help the children grow up in healthy environments. This is aimed to increase the awareness of adoption options and the importance of family-based care. The government has also focused on the importance of individualized attention and care for children in foster care. The Japan is also part of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, CRC. This helps protect children's rights, ensuring they are treated as humans and in a humane way. This is served through government agencies, NGOs, and international organizations. They are served on the grounds through compulsory education, social foster care services, and educational framework. Compulsory education is a requirement for all children, ensuring they attend elementary and junior high school. The social foster care services is a service that ensures children are in a safe space and they are receiving home-based foster care. The educational framework ensures that all children learn the importance of education, social behaviors, and responsibilities. Impact. Before the Child Welfare Act was revised in 2016, 73% of children in alternative care completed high school, with only 15% of those children in alternative care completing higher education. Many of the children in alternative care stated that they gave up on the idea of continuing their education due to lack of information about opportunities. After 2016, 80% of children in alternative care completed high school. The study considered if the child had ever experienced maltreatment or had disabilities and when they entered alternative care. The study surveyed 773 children that entered alternative care before the ninth grade. Although it is not proven the connection between the increase in completion and the revision of the Child Welfare Act, there was a 7% increase. The revision of the Child Welfare Act was a shift by the government to a family-based care system. The shift to a family-based care system allows children to thrive, giving them a nurturing home. The family-based care system has been proven to help the children become more successful.
As we've seen through Yuki's story, growing up in Japan's alternative care system can mean growing up without the consistent love and support that every child deserves. While institutions provide safety and structure, they can't replace the emotional warmth and sense of belonging when it comes to a family. Today, more than 85% of children in Japan's foster care system still live in institutions, and many struggle later in life with loneliness, unstable jobs, and limited educational opportunities. These aren't just statistics, they represent real children, real futures, and real dreams, just like Yuki's. But there is hope. Japan's revised Welfare Act and programs like the Nippon Foundation's project shows growing efforts to move towards family-based care and stronger post-care support. These changes are steps in the right direction, but real progress depends on the continued advocacy, compassion, and action. As future social workers, we play a powerful role in this change. We can advocate for more foster family placements instead of institutionalizations. We can work to create a smoother transition for young adults leaving care, helping them access education, employment, and emotional support. We can provide counseling, mentorship, and resources that help children feel seen and valued. And most importantly, we can use our voices to push for policies that put children's emotional and developmental needs first. Yuki's story reminds us that protecting children is not just about keeping them safe, it's about helping them grow, belong, and dream. When we as social workers stand up for children like Yuki, we become part of the change that ensures no child grows up feeling forgotten. And here's our reference page with our main study being children in alternative care in Japan.